Well, this is the sea near the ashram at Pondicherry. Pondicherry ashram is situated on the sea border. 4 or 5 buildings of the ashram are actually on the seaside. The main ashram building is about a furlong from this sea. This is the sea coast of Pondicherry where people, fishermen and other people in the morning also some people go for bath. And there are boats that let themselves in for fishing. This is a sunrise scene of ashram. Please change. This is the balcony darshan of the ashram. Every day morning between 6:10 and 6:30, the mother who is in the balcony, a yellow figure which you see on the top, she comes every day morning and stands there in silence when disciples and anybody from the public outside can come and have her darshan and also stand in silence for meditation for 15 minutes. This is a program which has been going for sufficiently long time, for many years now. And this is a daily feature which the visitors very often take advantage of and come to Pondicherry early 6 o'clock to have an occasion to join mother in this meditation. Please change. This is the main ashram building. You see, it is now we see the 2 roads. The other 2 roads are on the other side. It's a block dividing 4 roads, and the entrance of the ashram is on the further right side at the other end. What we see is the diagonal angle of the ashram. Please change. This is the room of the mother. That is to say, the disciples who come and the devotees who come to the ashram, they are very particular about having a look at the mother's room. The golden flowers that you see, the tree with the golden flowers, just touches the staircase which leads to mother's room upstairs. It is recently built room meant for her to retire after she has finished her work. And it is there that she looks after the details of the administration of the ashram. Please change. This is the Samadhi of Sri Aurobindo. It is here under the golden tree, golden flower tree, that his body was laid after 100 hours of the body being kept incorrupt. He left his body on the 4th night and it was put underground on the 10th, on the 9th, practically after 100 hours. And this is the place where his body is laid at rest. You see a plaque on which mother has written her tribute to him, and every day the samadhi is decorated and worshipped with flowers. Disciples and devotees come and sit all round because it is a big square around there and use this place for meditation, and visitors use it to pay the respects and put flowers here. Please change. This is the samadhi that we saw just now with an oblong in the center which is here bluish brown in color with an awning on the top, and all the disciples sitting round in meditation. You can actually now see this is done every 24th of April every year. You see all the disciples and devotees sitting in meditation all around, and mother is perhaps at the furthest end sitting on a chair at the farthest end against the samadhi. This is a feature of life in India that people sit down where some great man has performed tapasya, means meditation and spiritual life, and they try to take advantage of the atmosphere that is there. Please change. This is the room of Sri Aurobindo. You see the cot there and the chair which he used. There are 3 photographs of his that are kept there. This is the room which he used since 1928 to 1950. He hardly went out of this room for the period from 28 to 50. Before that, he was in another house, which was changed also, but from this house, he hardly even changed the house. He hardly went out of this room. All the walking that was necessary, he did within this room. Please change. This is Sri Aurobindo sitting in that chair which you saw in the year 1950, April 24th. This was taken by Henri Bruce. Henri, what is his name? Yes, Henri Brisson. the famous photographer who came and insisted on taking his photograph because nobody for about 40 years were allowed to take his photograph. But somehow he prayed mother and mother granted the permission and the photograph in April was taken, April 1950. Yes, please change. This is the mother giving blessing to the children of the International Educational Center. The pranam ceremony is the ceremony of receiving blessings personally from the mother. It begins with the children and ends with the elders. Elders are not only the disciples of the ashram, but also visitors from the city and from other parts of India. But the beginning is made with the youngest children. They are first allowed to go out in the line and the rest follow in a file. This is the mother in Indian dress, and I think it gives a very good impression of her personality in this slide which you see here. Please change. This is another aspect of the mother at the same time almost giving her blessing to an older, younger disciple, younger than the children that we saw. And because the face is on this side, perhaps it gives a much better impression of her. She was at this time about 81. There are 4 occasions on which people receive blessings personally, either in the form of flowers or in the form of a message which is given appropriate to the occasion. Here is one, a disciple receiving the message from the mother from her hand. Yes, please change. Yes, it's a little focusing. Yes, I think that's necessary. Yes, that's it. Well, you see her, this is the ceremony of what you call giving of blessing. This is the Indian way of giving a blessing. I think it is all over the world perhaps. The hand is put on the head and the man bows down and the one who gives the blessing, well, blesses it by putting the hand on the head. And mother has been conducting the ashram from 1926 to today. And she has been responsible for the organization of the ashram, for the spiritual life of the disciples, and for the outer organization of about 200 departments of the ashram. Please change. Yes, here you see her giving the packet of message, pointing out to the disciple. And here the expression which she has is very happy, and she is seen in various moods according to the man who approaches her. And she has been with Sri Aurobindo from 1920 practically to, well, 1950, and now she is continuing the work. And at present, she is 84, and she is running the departments with 1,400 members of the institution, which is working at Pondicherry. Please change. Now, well, here you see her. Yes, it's a little should be lower down. Perhaps it could be difficult. It will be disturbing the other perhaps plates. Now here she's just ready to depart and go upstairs, and she just got up for leaving the occasion when she has come down for blessing, and this gives her, well, impression in the standing position in a very fine way, I think. Yeah, please change. This is mother's room before she goes out to the balcony in the morning and before she comes out in the afternoon for her departmental work. Here she prepares herself to go out. And the paintings that you see on the side are done by the painters of the ashram. There are 4 or 5 painters and 4 or 5 photographers of international repute. Yes, please change. Well, this is the staircase leading to mother's room upstairs, which we saw, facing against the golden flower tree. And this staircase leads to her room upstairs. Yes, please change. Will you focus a little? Yes. Yes, that's it. This is mother in her upstairs room. The staircase leads to this room, and she's attending to the details of the departmental work here in her room. It is upstairs that all the papers are submitted to her, and she looks after the papers, prepares what has to be done, and brings them down in the room where we saw. She meets people and so on downstairs. Here it is that she works at her own desk to prepare for the details of the administrative work and also spiritual work. All the communication and letters addressed are read here now upstairs in a room. Will you please change? Yes, this is the gold Kond, the guest house of the ashram, built by the famous architect Antonin Remo, who had head office in Tokyo and New York. At present, he is in New York. This building was designed by Antonin Remo, and he came to Pondicherry personally and remained for 11 months and saw more than half the execution of this building under his own supervision. The peculiarity is that there are no walls. You will see that this building has no walls. It is open on both the sides, on four sides practically, and there are flaps which open, and they are handled by the people who reside in the building itself. It accommodates about 48 persons who are generally visitors or guests allowed to remain in the ashram if they conform to the rule of the building. One of the rules is that they are not allowed to smoke within the precinct. If you want to smoke, you have to go out and smoke. One of the rules only I am telling you just for sake of information. And this is the one guest house of the ashram. There are two more where people from outside can come and stay. This accommodates about 48 persons. Please stay. This is another view of the same building, and you see it on transverse way. The top is covered by cement slabs so as to prevent heating, and there is a very small garden with a fish pond, golden fish pond giving there, and you see two wings and three levels of the building here. And it is one of the big buildings in India in the sense that there is no similar copy in the whole of India, and some of the architects in India come to see it only for its architectural value. Please say. This is from Golconda. Many of the ashram buildings are seen. Just at the farthest end on the right side, the ashram buildings stop. But what is seen here as 2/3 of the view is all the ashram building. Ashram is not located in an isolated place, but in the midst of a city. And ashram has hired about 200 buildings and is the owner of about 200 buildings because it has to house about 14 to 1500 persons over and above the technicians and the labor which it employs. So naturally they're in great need of many houses. Well, this is a view of some of the main buildings of the ashram. Please change. This is the International Educational Center entrance. Opposite to the ashram building which we saw in the second plate, this is one on the opposite block. This also divides the four roads. There is one road in front and two roads on the side and one on the back. Well, there you see the children entering the educational center for their daily work. This will you please change? Now, here you see the infant class at work with a teacher sitting on the left side and the students sitting and having their games and having their spontaneous activity, as they say. Somebody is doing some work in the at the farthest corner, perhaps arranging the painting which they have been doing. So the education there is founded on a different principle than current schools. And for the last 13 years, they are conducting an experiment on education which promises to be more and more successful. Yes, please change. Well, here is the library of the ashram, entrance of the library, and the arrangement for the students as well as for the inmates of the ashram to go and read. And it is a building acquired in the last 7 years, and it has been a good, well-equipped library because it is used more by the students. Its advantage is not that it has many books, but whatever stock is there is used by the students profusely. Please change. Yes, this is the outside garden of the same library where students are lying in the garden and trying to read something which they've carried from the library itself for reading. Yes, please change. This is one of the upstairs room of the library where you see 4 students and 2 teachers sitting and carrying out their studies. And there are many groups like this, and there are many rooms in which infant class, the middle class, and the higher classes can come and read papers or books and make their own notes or come with their teachers and solve the difficulties. The library is a place more for education than for reference. Yes, please change. This is another part of the same library. You see the magazines exhibited on one side. Important news is also featured on the blackboard. And on the further side, indoor intellectual games also are allowed to the students of younger age. And each department is in charge of somebody who looks to it and sees to it that the students take the maximum advantage of the equipment. Please change. This is one of the children, infant class, and you see, yes, please change. That's another of the same, trying to take the scent of the flower. Yes, please change. The third one, yes, some of the children you can see. This is a picnic in one of the suburbs of Pondicherry. There is a lake, and on the lake, the ashram has an estate, a small field where an architect is working something by way of building, and also for growing fruits. Well, the students of the International Educational Center go there for picnic. You see here some students picnicking. Yes, okay. We are just on the picnic, all the students, and there is co-education from beginning to end, from 5 to 7 years to 21. That is one of the principles on which the education is being conducted. Please change. Yes, here they are after their lunch. They are trying to clear up all the vessels and things by self-help. It is they themselves have to cook, they have to serve, and to clean up everything, put it in the bus, and go back again to the educational center. See, groups are divided according to the color: red group, green group, blue group, white group, like that. So here you see major members are of the red group. Just please change. Here, the sea in Pondicherry is taken advantage of for taking bath, and you see there are two people kept to to take care of people so that no accident would occur to the students who are learning swimming and also actually have learned swimming. There is always a chance of mishap. So there are two people kept there to watch, caretakers as we call them. Please change. Here in the school at a certain interval, vegetarian soup is distributed to the students. And here you see a volunteer distributing the soup to the students at between 9 and 9:40. Please change. Here they are receiving prizes for their efficiency in the class or for physical efficiency. And some of them have received the prize and are discussing, and the rest are going to receive. It's a group of students on the way to receive a reward for their exam and for their physical efficiency. Please change. Here is a sand work, or yes, a sand mountain prepared by the young student, one of whom you see sitting on the left side. It is called Ascent to the Truth. It's a painting done by the mother, which these young students, the infants, have rendered into sand. They have tried to copy it out, and I think it's a very faithful copy. You see a small road going precipitously to the top. The way ascent to the truth is a very precipitous and hard way. Mother had painted it years ago in Paris when she was there, and she has this printed in a card form, and the students have copied it out in sand. They have a playground where they can do all the sand work, whatever they like to do, and they prepare many other things. This is one that is taken in this slide. James, what is this? No, this is the Japanese room, Japanese exhibition room. Mother was in Japan for about a year and a half or more. And at that time, she brought many objects of art from Japan, which are now located in a special room, Japanese exhibition room. And you see here some of the paintings, some of the dolls, some of the sculpture, and so on, kept some dress also kept in the cupboard there. Well, ashram has got a special feature of the ashram is a taste for garden and for art. So that you will see in every building almost something of the garden being kept by the inmates who reside in the house. Please change. Oh, suddenly we come to the first end of the business. Exhibition hall. The ashram has got a theater and an exhibition hall. This is an exhibition hall. One part of the exhibition hall, it is triangular. So you see one side, but there are two more sides on the two sides. Now this is an exhibition of embroidery done by the lady disciples and the devotees of the ashram. It is exhibited in the cupboard there under glass and on the sides. Well, people are looking at this exhibition now. It is embroidery exhibition of the ashram. Please change. This is embroidered lion, you see, by the disciples who are trained by one who learnt it in the ashram itself. Yes, please change. This is the lady who is in charge of the embroidery department, and she has taught many students under her the art of embroidery. Yes, please change. And this is another aspect of the embroidery. The peacock when the sunrise or moon. On the side also you've got the embroidered pieces. Next change. Here, this is on cotton, this embroidered peacocks in cotton. By the side also is embroidered cotton pieces. Here, please change. Yes, shall we focus a little? I think it is focused all right. This is mother looking at the embroidery exhibition, and the exhibition you see on the left, on her left side is the manager of the ashram. Behind her is the engineer. On the right side is the secretary of the ashram, Nalini Gupta. On the further right is Philip Barbier, the centiller in charge of educational department, and behind him is the painter Krishna Lal, and in front is the lady in charge of embroidery. Mother is looking at some piece there in the cupboard. Well, this is another view of the mother looking after the various activities of the ashram. Yes, please change. This is the rice field ready for being recalled, ready for being taken possession of, I think. We, with the labor and with the volunteers of the ashram, the work of reaping the harvesting is done. This is a field ready for harvest. This is outside the ashram, about 3 miles away. Yes, please change. Here is one disciple trying to carry the Japanese method of growing rice and therefore trying to separate the rice plants, I suppose. We have many fields in which effort is made to make ashram self-sufficient so far as the food requirements are concerned, but it has not yet succeeded fully. Only it succeeds so far as the rice quota is concerned, but the rest of it is yet to be bought from the market. Yes, please change. And here is a tractor which you know better than I can tell you about. We are utilizing this also in our agricultural work. Yes, please change. Yes, this is poultry farm of the ashram. One of the poultry farm. There are two. This is one. In each of the huts you see there is cabins. Different kinds or different species of the poultry are reared, and then 4 young men are in charge of this poultry farm, and they do it in the latest scientific method. I think government of India is also rendering as much help as they can. Yes, please change. Yes, these are some of the pullings, the times just in the morning. Yes, please change. This is one of the small ponds in the farm where you find some ducks, and I think there's a photograph taken at the morning time. Very fine. There, in Madras Crescent, there are many ponds in the field because it's a rice growing tract, and for rice you require water. So water stands more than 4 to 5 months a year. Yes, you think. This is the dairy of the ashram. Ashram hasn't got sufficient cattle, means cows, for supplying all the milk required. So what they do is, with the complement of 25 or 30 cows, they call the people who own the cow in the city to come and milk in our precincts under hygienic conditions of sterilizing and so on. So here you see some of the cows from the town being brought to the milking shed, and because large quantity of milk is required every day. And ashram hasn't got yet developed that to supply its own needs, to be supplemented by bringing the cows to be milked under hygienic conditions in our own premises. Yes, please change. This is one of the third bulls of the ashram. Slowly, the population of the cows is growing. And this is a special breed. It is brought from North India, I think. Yes, please change. This is the powerhouse of the ashram, because the municipal supply used to fail very often on account of troubles between French government and Indian government in the beginning. But even afterward, the consumption went on so quickly that the supply was not reliable. And ashram playground had to have electricity from 4 to 8. So we couldn't carry on our daily work if there was no electric supply. So government granted a special permit to install our own powerhouse in the ashram premises to supply 3 or 4 main buildings the current from our own powerhouse. This is the powerhouse of the ashram. Yes, this thing. This is the motor repairing and motor cycling shed of the ashram. You see 2 or 3 young men who are working, are disciples who are looking after the upkeep of the cars. We have about 30 or 40 cars now, various types, of course, for not only traveling but station wagons and students to go take them out, buses and so on. So, well, these people are looking. There is a special department doing this work. You see these students at work there, which is one compound. There is another compound where they are all kept under shade. Okay. And this is the casting department, iron, parts of machinery or parts required for consumption for outside people and the ashram use are cast in one of the workshops of the ashram. This is one of the engineering workshops which you see here, a part of casting department. There are others also, lathe working and so on. This is the casting department. Here, please see. And this is the press, monotype press. Our ashram owns a monotype press. And here you see the manager of the monotype press where actual printing is being done. I think this is the printing part of the press that you see here. Yes, this thing. Here, this is the keyboarding section, as they call it, for monotype. On left side you have the keyboarding instruments. On the right side the manager is sitting. And when the keyboarding is done, the thing is taken to the printing department. And there are employed people and disciples. Here what you see is disciples at work in the keyboarding and the managerial part. Yes, please say. Oh, this is binding department of the ashram. You see, in a line, you see the whole line that stretches out is the employment of ashram people and a few outsiders binding the books that are printed in the ashram. We print about 13 languages, magazines in 13 languages. And one of the rarities is that books in Chinese are printed in this press. I think the only press in India that prints Chinese books. There are 2 or 3 Chinese disciples who do the work of translation, and you have metrics for them. So they are doing the work in the press also. Well, apart from printing Sri Aurobindo's books and the books written by Sri Aurobindo's disciples, that also, and magazines every 3 months. You see, it is a heavy work which the press is doing, and I think it is never able to cope with the demand. Yes, please think. Here is the cottage industry department of the ashram. There is a cottage industry department where small handicrafts are carried out by disciples themselves and also by employing outside labor. Here you see papier-mâché figures are being prepared and cast in molds. You see the already cast molds on the top there, an animal and some of the deities cast in papier-mâché. And 2 people doing there also. They also prepare incense sticks or weaving, mat making, shoe making, and so on. There are various people, about 20 things they are supplying. But here, one part of the cottage industry department is free. Yes, please change. Here is the weaving department. In the open, the lady is looking after the warp that is being spread out, and then it is rolled up and taken for weaving inside the shed. Hand weaving also is done, machine weaving also is there. Please see. Here is the reception department of the ashram. When a visitor comes, there are 5 people are given the work of looking to the needs of the visitors. Well, they receive the visitor and take him round if necessary, show him the books or whatever he wants to buy, or if he wants to have an interview, the interview is arranged and the time is given to him. If he wants an accommodation also, if possible, they try their best to give them accommodation. There are 2 more guest houses of the ashram where visitors are accommodated. Generally, it is better that visitors write in advance, but if all of a sudden they come and if there is accommodation, they can also accommodate them and they take them round to see the various departments of the ashram in car because they are far apart. This is one part of the, well, you can say the reception department of the ashram. Please change. This is the laying of the foundation stone of the sugar factory. And mother is putting the foundation stone down below. There is mother on the left side. Behind her is the wife of the proprietor of the sugar factory. Behind her is the head of the education department, Philip Babi, the centiller. On her right side is the engineer Pinto. Further right is the secretary Nalini. And on the extreme right of the mother is Lalji, the proprietor of the sugar mill, who came from Africa and has established a mill 7 miles from Pondicherry. And as he is a devotee, he wanted the mother to lay the foundation stone. And here you see the mother laying the foundation stone. She is 82 at this time, this year when this was laid down. Please change. Hello, we have come to the end suddenly. This is the sport where on the 1st and 2nd of December celebration of the starting of the education institution is done. And the proceedings begin by a march past. Here you see the march past. Mother is on the right side taking the salute and people, this is the Olympic track laid down. This is a sports ground, not the playground. There are 3 grounds, tennis ground, playground and sports ground. This is the sports ground. And the first section to march is the ladies section in white with their kitty caps on the top to bind their hair. And they are marching in front with the banner. This is the sports ground celebration on the 1st of December. Yes, please. Ma, okay. Here they are also further salute after the march past. They all stand to attention. Mother is on the right side, and there is also the band standing behind the people who are lowering the banners. Each group with a captain standing in front and the band standing behind. When the salutation is finished, then the whole celebration starts. Yes, you change. Well, here is one of the items. After the start of the competition, the items begin. You see here 110 meters and so on, all the things are featured, march past, and then what will be done is given. Here is mother going to see to the detail of the competition item that is being now the next item in the program. Secretary there, mother here, and the engineer on her left side, on her right side. Well, she watches every detail of the working of each department of the ashram as far as she can, particularly the education of the young people and the activities of the sports ground. Yes, please change. Here, the start of 110 by the young children. You can see that. Yeah, there are just, it is a track on which the start is given by the starter. Yes, will you please change? Here is the elder students taking the start on the same ground. This is a sports ground. Yes, please change. Yes, this is the obstacle race being carried out on this same sports ground. Yes, change please. Yes, a pole vault. Several, all the items of athletics are carried out on this sports ground and playground only march path. Yes, please change. Here is the young student trying to throw the cricket ball, and mother is sitting on the extreme left in the picture, you can see on the slide. And she is marking the place of his throw with the examiner there to go and see every detail. Yes, please change. This is the tug of war. One party only we see, the other party is on this side. And the elders are sitting looking there, and the member of the public and the ashram sitting in the row, the further side. Yes, please change. Here they are exciting their partisans to pull hard. It is a tug of war at work. Such a party, people who are looking are excited and they want the other party to pull hard because they seem to be losing. Yes, please change. And this is playground near the ashram. Sport ground is about 3/4 of a mile away. Playground is just a stone's throw from the ashram, second street practically. There is the singing chair, and on one of the occasions, the members of the ashram and public are just at furthest end, and the students are just trying to take the chairs. Yes, please change. It is an item. This here they are trying hard to do their intellectual work quickly in order to win the race. Well, this is a race item, not a class work. This is on the playground. Yes, please change. And here they are having the mask drill or mask dance. This is sports ground. The ones 1st of December, this is a celebration. Students are masked as animals and they are going round. Have a little dance also perhaps at the end of it. Yes, please change. This is a jump from this. What is it called? It is called there's a special name for it. No? Yes, tarpaulin. Yes. This is
What is it called? What do you call it?
tarpaulin, no?
Trampoline. Is that right?
Yes, trampoline.
Yeah.
Trampoline, yes. There is a jump by one of the disciples. This is also training given to them, boys and girls together. Yes, please change. This trampoline. This is asan. This is the instructor of the asan in the ashram. About 100 poses I have with me in photograph. We have taken only one here as a sample. But whoever wants to learn Hatha Yoga in the ashram comes and learns from him. He is 55 and does all the asanas possible for the human body, I think. And people say that he seems to have no bones. Well, I have got 100 photographs with me. We couldn't take 100 slides. This is only a sampling of the activities of the ashram, and therefore you see here the instructor of Hatha Yoga of the ashram. Yes, please change. This is children learning to float. This is falling down into the wading pool. You see there is a small pool for children with a 3 to 4 feet depth, and they are just learning to make them familiar with water and floating. Yes, please change. This is a learning to float. This is a child is being taught by one of the advanced students how to put the body in a position so that one could easily float. He has a very fine expression about him, I think. He's quite happy. Yes, please change. Yes, change. This is the German coach, Mr. Werner Hobrisch. He came there to coach us in some of the items of life-saving, learn Indian athletics, asanas and some physical athletics of Indian type like wrestling and Malkham. And he taught life-saving and gave certificates at the end of a course for 3 months. And he went back to Germany, and we have now a very fine relation with him in the sense that we exchange all the information about physical culture with his institution in Germany. Yes, please change. This is a swimmer who is one of the English boys, I think, swimmer. Yes, please change. This is the demonstration by the Russian gymnasts who came and paid a visit to the ashram. These are the Russian ladies who demonstrated. There was a group of about 20 or 25 visiting India under the government's exchange, and they visited our institution as a premier institution for physical culture and athletics and games in the whole of India. And they were very much satisfied and found the standard rather high. Yes, please change. These are the Russian athletes lining, in front of the mother. Mother is sitting on the right side in the seat, and they are passing, receiving some either present or recognition or some fruits or something from the mother. They were quite a very good set, I think. They did a very fine job, and they were quite efficient in the athletics which they showed, and we adopted some of their methods, and they learned also 2 or 3 items from the ashram. Yes, please change. Mm, and this is a theater of the ashram where mothers play. Ascent to the truth is enacted. You see, this is a session or scene of a drama, and the painting of the mother is there, enlarged at the end of the curtain. This is the ashram has a theater of its own where several times in the year students and teachers or members of the ashram can give performances which either they take from classics or themselves create. Here is one that is created by the ashram. Yes, this is also a scene from the another scene from the same play, Ascent to the Truth. There you see the ascent to the truth is indicated a narrow path going up. Yes, please change. Yeah, this is the one of the international dance festival performed by the ashram children in front of the mother in the playground. You see here is the playground, and there you see mother under the map of India sitting on a chair with some of the managing people and the students performing on the right side of the mother, and the members of the ashram and the visitors are sitting all round. Yes, please change. This is another side of the same performance by the students. And here you see mother more clearly, perhaps under the map of India, under a shade. With her is Madame Kobayashi, a Japanese devotee of the mother. And on the other side is Eleanor Montgomery from New York, on mother's right side, sitting there. And the performance, dance performance and the drama performance are on mother's left side. Well, they do it in the open air on the playground. Yes, please change. This is mother open air. This is mother in the boat on her visit to the Ashram island at Aryankupam, one of the suburbs of Pondicherry. The land is divided by a very small creek and it has to be crossed by boat. Here mother is crossing the boat, and it is here that American disciple Mr. Bushnell is trying to do some work of gardening and agriculture, and she is paying a visit to the island. Yes, please change. This is a close-up of the view of the boat in which mother is sailing to that small island. It's only about 50 feet, but one has to cross it by a boat. Yes, please check. Oh, she's just actually on the island, walking down into the field with disciples following and accompanying her on both sides. Yes. Yes, please change. She's just near the lotus in the garden in the island, and with her, one standing in the yellow robe is Mr. Bushnell, and on this side is the engineer. Well, he has prepared that pond of lotus on the bank of which they are both standing. Yes, please change. Yes. This is the mother's visit to the ashram flower exhibition. Ashram arranges an exhibition of flowers once a year sometimes, in a good springtime, and mother pays a visit for opening it. Yes, please change. Every flower in the ashram has got a meaning or significance, and mother has given significance to about 600 flowers. The flowers that you see signifies restfulness. This kind of flower is restfulness. Yes, please change. Now what you see is endurance, these janyas, and their significance in spiritual or psychic language is endurance. Yes, please change. This what you see is protection and divine love. Yes. This what you see is harmony. These flowers which are shown in the slide indicate harmony. Yes. This is skill in work. Skill in work. Skill in work. Yes. This is Krishna's play in the vital, the delight of the divine playing in the vital. Yes. Yes, please change. Well, sweetness of thought when thoughts are turned towards the divine. Sweetness of thought turned towards the divine. Yes. This is compassion of the divine. We would say in the ashram, Sri Aurobindo's compassion. Yes. And here you see the recent portrait of the mother when she was 83. Must have been taken at the time when she was on the balcony, perhaps, most probably. And she is the guiding light of the ashram, and we have all received whatever we have from her and Sri Aurobindo. Well, I suppose that's the end of the slide, no? Voilà. The 100, this is the 100.